Hey, what's happening? Joe from Train Out of Pain coming to you today with day 4 of things that you should be removing from your life if you have fibromyalgia. Today's going to be a big one. It's going to be for everybody, not just if you have fibromyalgia, but I will be talking about specifically why this is important if you have fibromyalgia. So, today, the one thing that I want you to remove from your life is to stop carrying your cell phone on your body. I see a lot of women carry them in their bras, which I can't even. And a lot of us men carry them in our pockets, and I'm seeing more and more people carry them in their back pockets. There's a huge problem with that, in that these incredible devices that give us wonderful conveniences in our life emit all types of radio frequencies, extreme low level frequencies, and microwaves. And all of these are extremely harmful to our biology. So when cell phones were first released, they didn't even test them. It's true, you can look it up yourself. And in 1996, the specific absorption rate, the SAR rating, was developed. The problem with that is the only thing that they looked at was how the radio frequencies heated up our biology, because they thought that, well, it's microwave, all it does is heat things. Not true at all. It emits something called non-ionizing radiation, and that's a big problem for our biology. Um, it's an even bigger problem when you have extreme vitamin D deficiency, like everybody who has fibromyalgia has. And do not tell me about how high your levels of vitamin D are from supplementation. That is not the same thing. Vitamin D supplementation does not turn on the other 1,000 genes that are expressed through vitamin D when you absorb it through your skin. So this is where the fibromyalgia part comes in. You already have a vitamin D deficiency, which means you already have your calcium levels jacked up. Well, when you have a cell phone on your body, it absolutely interferes with your calcium channels. So that is going to create even more issues. I have a few clients who have osteoporosis, osteoarthritis, and from all the research that I've done, one of the main drivers for that is an extreme lack of sunlight, extreme lack of vitamin D. So when you have fibromyalgia and you want to couple those things together, it's bad news. But the biggest problem is you have fibromyalgia, you already have mitochondrial dysfunction, like I've previously talked about. I'm not going to get too deep into the science about that because I want you to continue to watch these videos rather than get bored to death. You can look into that stuff yourself. I will continue to talk about it though. But you know, radio frequencies, they dehydrate us down to the cellular level, and I'm actually living proof of that. Earlier this year, I was in the hospital. I had my appendix rupture, and I went back to the hospital a second time. I was in the hospital for 8 days, and when I went back in the second time, I had a CT scan, and the surgeon looked at my CT scan and goes, "Man, what the hell are you doing to your hips? They're a mess. You're too young for your hips to look that bad." And I thought, I know they're bad. With my fibromyalgia, my hips and my hands are my two worst areas. And I've done everything but have surgery on my hips. So I thought, I get that my hips are messed up, but man, I've worked a lot on my hips over the past few years, and they're as mobile as anybody that I know, and they work really, really well. However, I put the pieces together later on, and I carried a cell phone turned on in my pocket for the better part of 15 years in my left pocket. Take a guess which one of the hips that my surgeon was talking about. Yeah, my left one. We are now seeing cases of young children with osteoporosis. Normally, that would be a condition reserved for older generations. It's happening more and more frequently now. Why? Wireless technology and all of the emissions that come from these things. So we have, was it in 2018, the National Toxicology Program, the NTP, they came out with a study, and I'm going to read a quote from this. I have it right here. It says that the 2018 NTP study found clear evidence of cancer from prolonged exposure of low levels of wireless radiation. Clear evidence, okay? There's been multiple papers out there that have stated this stuff. Somebody that I've talked about before, a researcher named Martin Paul, has a great paper out on this. And if you would like to read it, let me know. Be more than happy to send it to you. But there's some other things that happen when we carry their cell phones close to our body. One other thing that happens is it reduces our melatonin levels. Have trouble sleeping, fibromyalgia people? Yeah, melatonin is a big problem. When you already have a completely screwed up circadian rhythm and then you're adding wireless technologies on top of that, it's going to reduce your melatonin levels and exacerbate your circadian rhythm problem. So here's a solution. If you are going to carry your cell phone on your body or even in your purse, which is going to be close to your body, you need to take your phone into airplane mode. That reduces the emissions that come from your cell phone. This goes for your tablets, your cell phones, any type of wireless technology. Um, I do not have my cell phone on a lot of the day. I really don't have it on my person at all. I keep it in my backpack when I'm at work, and I keep it in a pocket on airplane mode because I really try to reduce the amount of wireless frequencies that I'm absorbing, and I already absorb enough at work as it is. I don't own the place, so I can't control the environment as much as I would like. But putting this on airplane mode is a quick fix. Turning it completely off is the best way, because then you're not emitting anything from that phone. So if you can, if you don't have to be on call, if you don't have kids, don't have young ones that are trying to reach you, turn that phone off. Don't charge it next to your head at night either. That is lunacy. All right. So I don't want to see people walking around, especially women, with it in their chest. I've actually seen photos, two of these. It's been a while back. I probably have a hard time finding them, but I could probably find them if I need to. If somebody wants to give me a shout out. I've actually seen photos of a woman who developed breast cancer, and her cancer developed in the shape of her cell phone, where she kept it in her bra. I've also seen photos of a young man in his 30s who had melanoma on his face, and same thing, where it developed in the shape of his cell phone. So another thing that I highly encourage you to do is to no longer put your cell phone up to your head while you use it to speak on. I haven't used it in this entire year. I don't put it up to my head. You couldn't pay me to put it up to my head. I don't care what the conversation is, and I don't care who hears it. When you start caring about your biology and you want to become your own doctor and you want to heal from a chronic illness, you are going to start caring less and less about what people think about you. It's more important that you give yourself more time on this planet than give yourself convenience of putting your cell phone on your person or next to your head. It's really bad news. So again, this is going to affect calcium levels. This is going to affect your mitochondria as well. So you need to stop putting those cell phones on your body. As always, I encourage you to read up on this stuff. Gaining that type of knowledge is so that you can understand it, you can talk about it, and then you can affect your own self with this as well. If you have any questions, any comments, please reach out. If you're not comfortable with a comment, you can always send me a message as well. Hopefully you got some great information from this. Hopefully it wasn't too much for you, but again, I encourage you to look at this stuff yourself, and you'll be surprised at what you find. Talk to you soon. Have a great day.